Good morning. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the thing show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find his or her way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. This morning, I want to share with you an email a young lady sent. Very interesting, what her questions are. And it's just let me know this young lady, she seems to be in her 30s or something. And it's just showing you how these young people are beginning to think. And so the questions she asked, I just want to give her this. They're not hard questions or nothing like that, but it's just giving you a in-depth to what she's thinking and how a lot of these younger people, they're thinking this. And when I say younger people, I'm young myself as compared to my grandfather. He died when he was 108. So I'm young, or my grandmother. So this is where we put our energy. And when we put our energy into that, that puts their energy back into us. This is one of the things you have to know about yourself. You're not just your body. You're not just your shoes. You're just not your dress or your wig. You're much more than that. And that's why other people can come put labels and names on you and make you answer to those labels and names. It's simple. If you teach your dog to answer to the name Fido, when you call him Butch, he's gonna look at you like you're crazy. So, what this sister, her questions was, I want to put it in a way that means something to her, not just saying some off the cuff stuff that's, and what the fuck does that mean? So here's her email. No, I'm sorry. Here's her letter. Letter seems more like it's real. We get into this electronic age, and things that we used to do that we don't do no more, they kind of fade away. And some of the things that that I learned growing up, like writing letters, you know, they have a value to it, to me. Maybe not to you, to me. So check out this letter this sister wrote. I was just introduced to your content, and all I can say is wow. A couple of questions, a couple of questions as I am in the middle of doing my genealogy also. I hope you can help. Number one, what does the logo mean? Oh, the man and woman liking each other, appreciating each other, with child. Men and women create children, and it's a cycle. You have to like each other and be cool with each other, and to make that baby being born in an environment that's conducive to life. That's what the logo means. And that's the idea I wanted to put across to indigenous people of America. You are the life that everybody wants. But you look at yourselves as, I'll be here all day explaining what the Negro have integrated himself into. But the one thing that most don't do is a lot of people do it. A lot of people, look at themselves. I am somebody. Remember that? I am somebody. I'm something. You just not on this planet to be a dead leaf. You're supposed to be working and pushing for the group, your family. Everything you do should be in that favor. You give your strength back to your family. You give your ideas back to your everybody. Gives your ideas back to your family. What do you mean? So that's what that logo means. And it keeps the cycle of life going. The cycles of life. Now, um, it's hard to reach. It's hard to reach. A lot of people are getting it, but well, what you call the African American, the black, they're just not into life. They're into concepts and ideologies from other people. Her second question is, uh, how do you get your information? Um, this is just available to everybody, anybody, anybody. You just look at the information that's talked about, and then you have questions, right? So it's like you're asking me questions because you want to know what I'm talking about. Because I ain't never heard this before. He crazy. I get that all the time. So how do you get the information? Okay, so was talking to a young man the other night, and he was talking about this Kanye West cat, and this Kyrie Irving cat, and these cats are supposed to be woke. They're supposed to be woke. So let's take what this. No, don't. Let's not even talk about wokeness because then cats are in a coma. So this is how I get my information, Ebony. So when I hear people talk about these cats that are supposed to be woke, it all boils down to these guys are in some kind of religious organization, right? Now this is what guides their actions. This is what guides their thinking. This religious groups that they are in. So one of the guys, he's talking about he's Hebrew Israelite. Another one of the guys is talking about how he's a Christian. He's forming himself after Jesus, calls himself G or whatever. This is these are the ideologies, are the only ideologies that Negroes know. Number one. Number two, it's a foreign ideology. Foreign meaning it's not yours. Damn. And we seem to can't get that. So, Ebony, I'm gonna explain to you because I just want to set that up first. So, how I get my information is this, Ebony. These two cats are in the religious, whatever, fraternities, whatever. What are these religious fraternities? So, I look at stuff. Okay, so these words we speak, I know they have changed over time. The meanings have changed over time. I just know that. I mean, I don't know how I know it. I just makes sense to me. They weren't talking like this in the 1900s. My grandmother didn't speak how your everyday grandmother speaks today. So something changed. So what I do, I just normally go back. Okay, well, what's the first dictionary published? The first dictionary published 1828. So, you just go through the dictionary, find words and stuff, and you'll see that the definitions of what they were 200 years ago isn't the definition of what they are today. So, when you look up the term America, everybody, I mean, I'm sure everybody who's listening here know what the definition of America. Whoever sent me the definition of America first, I'll gift you a book for the holidays, something you can read for the holidays. These winter days coming up. What's the definition of America? So when you look at these religions that these cats are in, and I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up because I gotta roll. Oh, she got here fast. I gotta roll. The definition of America lets you know who the people were here when these people got here. So we were talking about what? Somebody bring me up to. I was just interrupted right then. I just had a little. What these guys are in. So when you look up the definition of America, it talks about you. And they tell you right in the definition that somebody is coming and taking that definition, you away from you. So when you talk now, you're not saying what it really is. You're saying the what's being put in instead of that. You're paying attention to somebody has came and changed this to this. They change what the definition of America was and who the definitions of Americans were to what you see it as today. That's not what it is. And it doesn't take nobody to tell you that. You can see that for yourself, or you should be able to. If you can't, good luck to you. You cannot pretend that you're something that you're not. And that's what these cats do, right? So these cats are telling you that they're people from some far off place, a place where they wandered in the desert for years, a place where the men, and this is from their works, a man that would make his wife ride a donkey 90 miles 3 days before she had a baby. That's the kind of mentality. That's the kind of mindset that's created. And these cats say this is those people, but they never will go to those places and say that they're these people over there. That's how you know it's bullshit. Okay, so you have to figure that out. So anything that what this is media and I'm censored, and they're not letting this get out to the masses. So share this with everybody you know. Your folks are from here, this soil. this part of the earth birthed them. This is not the United States. Nah. The United States is something that replaced what was, and what was you, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your great great, those people who made it possible for you to be here. And the respect that you guys are showing now is pathetic. It's pathetic. So, how do you get your information, ma'am? You get your information by looking up stuff. So these cats are talking about, they're looking at something called a Bible. They're looking at something called a King James version of a Bible. Okay. And this is what I'm saying. It's not that hard. This is where it gets messed up, because we play like we don't know. And the shit is right in your face. So most of the Negroes over in America, they're on something called a King James version of the Bible. This is talking about the two cats that are leading the conversation, in media, the information that's being put out through media. These two cats, they're taking their teachings and something from a Bible. Bible is a document that was written by a cat. It's his version of it. Then that's what I mean. It changes all the time, because somebody else who's ever in power now, they're going to change it to their version. It's not going to be the version that was previous. This is something that we don't get too well. We don't understand it. This stuff flies right over our heads. So when people say, where you get your information from? They say the Bible. Okay, let's read the Bible. If you get to page 2 and you don't have 60 questions, you're a dumbass. It's just that simple. Damn. Anybody can tell you anything that you know. Two men can't produce a baby. Doesn't that say that on page 1 of the Holy Bible? Doesn't it? Yeah. You act like it don't. And what you act like is what you get. What you act like is what you get. Then, when you say, this is how I get the information, Ebony. Well, before the 1611 Bible, wasn't there any Bibles before that? Because you want to get to the source. And that isn't the source. When you look at how this royal monarchy family has been to the world, what it's been to its people. Shoot, we here in America, and we know better than anybody else how they flooded over here. And how those people act. And they had to get that from somewhere. They got it from that royal stuff. This is the stuff we found, and then check it out. The Negro, the king. Everything the Negro does is for the king. Everything. He's been trained that way. And so, like Copper Color Lifestyle say, it's embarrassing how faithful we are to religious, and we were beaten, and that was beaten into our ancestors. We got to pay for that, y'all. You worshiping what dogged your ancestors out. You worship it. So these are these cats who are on the radio, or these people that they're pumping, talking that religious shit. These are the people that they get to call and pull the masses. You go to the Great Bible, 1500. Read that. We won't read it. I don't, huh? Mm. We always don't know. That's how you can tell an African American. I don't know. Never know. I mean, the simple stuff. Well, what did your people do? You're connected to them. You have to know what they did. They don't because they've been disconnected from that. They are now African Americans. They aren't what their people were. They aren't who their people were. They're Hebrews. They're Greeks. They're all these foreign ideologies. And you see, it never works for the group, the Americans, which are you. So, Ebony, in closing, get your information. You got to ask questions. You got to know what to ask. You got to have some confidence in yourself. I know as a woman in America, the sisters treat it real bad. But you guys like it because you dress up and get your hair done, now that lipstick and shit for it. So you must like that. Get into your people, get into your see the things that your aunts, your mothers, your grandmothers, those women did. How they made something out of nothing. It'll blow you away. Every family has it. Every family has it. Those are the same gifts you have in you. So, Ebony, I hope that answers your question. I got to run now, y'all. And we'll see you next time. Peace.